Hi there. Well, it's Sunday afternoon, and I've been gardening all day, and that gives me time to think. And what I was thinking about all day is, the people I work with around learning to live vulnerably, people I work with that, want to have better relationships. They often tell me, I know what to do, but I just don't seem to be able to do it when I need to do it. Can you relate to that? Boy, I know I sure could. It was really challenging to integrate what I knew in my head to be the right thing to do and what I actually was able to do in the moment. So let's talk about that. So what I learned in applying this model called vulnerable living to myself was that I learned that if I tried to respond to anything, in particular any relationship that was important to me, when I was emotional, I was going to fail at my latest goal, which often was to be more calm, to be more loving, to say things that weren't going to do damage to my relationship, to not get loud and yell, those sorts of things. Eventually, what I learned is that when I was feeling emotional, I needed to go calm myself. And this is where an important piece comes in. I learned that I had to develop my internal parent to go calm my emotional, vulnerable child. Now, I talk about that a lot, and it doesn't seem like it's easy. Hi, Scott. It's not so easy to do. Now that I know how to do it, I've got those neural pathways, and I've created some positive ways of being that are now almost reflexive for me. But when I was trying to learn how to do that, I had to first recognize that I needed to calm myself down. And the best way I knew to do that was to tell whoever it was that I was having a conversation with that I needed to take some time before I was going to be able to respond or finish that discussion. Now, sometimes what I found was there wasn't even a discussion that was happening on the outside, but I was freaking out on the inside. So when either there was a discussion that was heating up on the outside, or I realized I was freaking out about something that, as I could see even in the moment, probably had very little to do with the person in front of me and had a lot more to do with issues that I had. Anyway, so I take time and literally go sit somewhere. I tell people you can go to the bathroom and pretend like you're going to the bathroom if you need to calm down, if you need space, if that's the only place you can go. Anyway, so I would go and sit with, which I still do, go and sit with whatever feelings are arising. So often for me, I'd feel like if I shared what was really going on, someone was going to leave me. Or I'd feel like I'd start judging myself inside like, gosh, I'm certainly being overly emotional or dramatic or whatever. And instead of that punitive, disconnecting, judging voice, I would go and sit and just say to myself, okay, you're afraid of being abandoned. Okay, you're afraid of being too much. All right, do I get that you're also afraid of not being seen or being judged on the outside? Well, I'll tell you what I would tell myself from this loving parent self. I'm going to sit here with you as long as you need me to sit with you. And I'm going to remind you that you deserve love and kindness, and I'm going to give you love and kindness and presence right now. And what I found in that process, which literally I would talk to myself out loud, what I would find is that part of me that was feeling really scared and emotional, and that had patterns of fear and emotionality that were directly linked to things that happened long before the person in front of me. And eventually I figured out the person in front of me, not me talking to myself, but whoever I was upset about with, didn't cause what happened and was not ever going to be able to cure it. So I realized I needed to go inside. So I sit with myself until my vulnerable self, that vulnerable feeling self that just needs to be loved, met, and seen till that part calmed down. And then I knew I could one of two things, either go talk to that other person, or usually, more often than not talk to another person or not start a conversation. And instead, just stay with that, follow that thread as far back as it went, and recognize that whatever the big feelings were really are mine to cope with, mine to love myself through, and mine to not abandon myself around. So, what I learned in this process of getting quiet with myself and calming myself and loving the parent, loving that vulnerable self inside, was that most of my strong emotions are based on the past, that I don't want to bring them into my current moment, and that it's my job to just love myself through them. So, anyway, I hope that was helpful. If it was, let me know. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, leave comments below, or to message me privately. I'm happy to respond, either in the public venue or in private. If this video was helpful for you, please consider sharing it with someone else, and feel free to invite anybody that you'd like to our Vulnerable Living group. The more people that we have, the more that we're spreading the word that healing is an inside job, and that making reconnections on the inside can feel better than you have ever imagined. Anyway, bye for now. See you later.